Listen, so their policy is you can't record in here.
You're NYPD now? You're NYPD now?
Always been. Listen,
no.
You have to leave because you're not allowed to record in here.
You want to read their policies?
Their policies that you cannot record in here.
The first line.
Their staff is asking us to remove you, and they... I don't remember you. I don't know.
I remember you.
Oh, that's nice. I hope you like me. Time to go. All right?
Why would I need to leave? I have a right to be here, and I'm conducting business.
No, you're not conducting business. And the thing is that you have to go through...
Read the policy. Right there. I'm handing it to you.
Told me.
Who is he?
The security guard. The head security guard said that you need to leave, and they have a right to kick you out.
Photography and photocopying policy, right? I'm going to read it to you because if you violate my rights, you can't say that you didn't know.
That's our job.
It's no negotiation. It's no...
So you could just ask anybody to leave a public building just because.
Yes.
They want you to.
They
what
if I was complaint from every staff member on every single floor that you're recording them and you're being a nuisance, and you're not allowed to do that inside the library.
How am I being a nuisance?
You have to leave.
How am I being a nuisance?
You are recording them and you are not allowed to do that inside.
So photography is a nuisance?
Sir?
Can I speak to your supervisor, please?
They can't record in here, right? You willing to? Nope. All right.
Read this. Handheld cameras are permitted.
Listen.
First line. Handheld cameras are permitted. This is their rules.
You have to.
Why?
Why? Because you are not allowed.
What crime am I committing?
You're not part of any media. You do not have prior permission to record in here. You now have to leave.
I do have permission.
Step out civilly?
I want to speak to your supervisor.
No problem. He's going to tell you the same thing.
No, he's not.
Tell you.
He's going to honor his oath to the Constitution.
Let's make it back.
I don't want to deal with you because I already got you on camera.
Go ahead.
Cursing me out, so I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to deal with you. I'd rather deal with somebody that I never had contact with. Because right now it seems like retaliation.
All right.
No investigation. You just went off of his word, right? Why are you asking me to leave a public place I have a right to be?
They want you to leave, so you gotta leave.
Okay, what if they wanted me to smack myself? I gotta smack myself?
No, that's different.
Right. I have a right to be here just like everybody else. I'm not being disorderly. I'm walking around peacefully recording. The public workers. Can I record you? Can I record you? So why can't I record the city workers?
They're not city workers.
They work. New York is funded.
They're security guards.
The public library is funded by tax dollars.
You record me all you want.
I can record government workers in the course of their duty. Read case law. You need to read case law because you enforce the law.
My job right now
is to
get you out of this building.
Why? What crime did I commit?
They don't want you in here.
Why would they ask me to leave?
You're being disorderly. You're being a nuisance, and now you have other people watching.
How am I being a nuisance? How?
By
simply recording?
They asked you to stop recording.
They never asked me to leave. They never asked me to leave.
Because I can ask him and he can say the opposite.
I have on camera. Have you guys ever asked me to leave since I've been here? Have you asked me to leave? Have you asked me to leave since I've been here? Nope. First thing they said when I came in the building was you could record.
Listen, you can hang out here and wait.
I'm going to wait for your supervisor.
My lieutenant's going to be here.
Why not honor your oath? Why not protect my rights?
I'm honoring my oath.
I'm in a public building.
These nice men called me here, and they called us to escort you out of this building, and that's as far as I'm concerned with
Why would you escort me out the building?
We don't need to continue any more conversation.
You escort me out if I'm being disorderly, if I'm somewhere I'm not supposed to be, if I'm impeding business.
They said you were not allowed.
Welcome back, everyone. Today's confrontation takes place inside A** New York Public Library. But don't let the calm setting fool you. What unfolds here exposes a massive misunderstanding of power, rights, and public accountability. Our auditor enters the building politely, camera in hand, ready to exercise his First Amendment right to record in a public space funded by taxpayers. But within moments, policy becomes a weapon. Staff members, backed by NYPD officers, decide that recording equals nuisance. No law is cited. No disturbance caused, just an uncomfortable truth being silenced. This is where things get fascinating. We'll see officers contradict their own oaths, enforce rules they clearly don't understand, and reveal just how thin the
has any rights. I am.
Yeah, no,
peacefully.
They are peacefully asking us to escort you out.
For what crime?
You're not allowed to record in here.
He just said I was. And it says right here on their policies. Read their policies.
He actually just said you weren't allowed to record in here.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Listen, he's the head security guard as far as I'm concerned.
Read the policy.
And we were asked to escort you out.
Read their policy.
I don't need to read their policy.
So I'm not violating their policy, so why would you ask me to leave?
I abide by what the security
guard. And I'm not breaking the law.
Listen, this is civil matter, and
I don't want to talk to you no more because this is retaliation. You're trying to retaliate against me because I recorded you before. So
I don't remember you ever recording.
I remember you. I remember you. You work at Midtown South, right?
It's on my press bar.
Yeah, I didn't even look at that. I already know.
It's right here.
Mm-hmm. If I was somewhere I'm not supposed to be, if I was cursing people out, if I was being disorderly, every time I talk, you cut me off.
Listen, like you said,
Me
you don't
simply
speak,
recording, me recording is not a disorder. Is not a disturbance.
You're being a disturbance to these people.
How?
They asked you to leave. I don't know.
Because they don't like what I'm doing. What if they didn't like my shirt? What if they didn't like my religion? They're gonna escort me out of a public building? Because this is a right. It's called freedom of religion. So if I was praying here,
staff has asked you to leave.
Ma'am,
I don't know what more you want me to say.
If I was praying in this library and they didn't like that I was my religion, they wanted me out because I was praying. You want to enforce their feelings, or do I have freedom of religion?
Are you praying right now?
I wanted to. So I came to this library for multiple reasons.
Here's the kicker. The security guard keeps saying it's policy. But let's be clear. Policy is not law. A library can post guidelines, sure, but those rules can't override the Constitution. Public buildings are paid for by the people, which means filming them is a protected act under the First Amendment, as long as it doesn't disrupt operations. Yet, you'll notice, no one mentions law, only policy. This tactic is common in public audits. They shift the argument to feelings, not legality. But in a democracy, rights aren't revoked because someone feels,
the only way I'm leaving here right now is if my lieutenant tells me you can stay.
Why wouldn't I be able to stay? I'm not being disorderly. All I'm doing is walking around quietly recording the New York City public workers, which I have a right to do. I can record the government while you're at work.
You'll see what my lieutenant says, okay? How about that? Deal? And then
Sure, that's why I asked for him.
And if you're good to stay, then I'll leave.
The Constitution and the law says I'm okay. What you swore an oath to do.
No.
What does the Constitution have to do with? Does the Constitution have to do with your job?
Oh.
Does the Constitution have to do with your job?
This has nothing to do with the Constitution.
It does for me. It does for me.
Because they said you're being disorderly, and they're not comfortable with you recording inside here, and they said that you're not allowed to record inside here. We don't
read their policies. Read it. Read the first line. Read the first bulletin.
They just gave this to me. That last bullet point says no photographs of the staff, other researchers, or certain reading rooms may be taken.
That's what
Okay, they work for the government. There's case law that I can record them.
That's part of their policy. That's what we're here to explain to you. They said that the staff members don't want you recording.
Okay, I'm still not committing a crime. I have a right to be in a public building.
And they have the right to escort you out.
The tone shift here. It's not a discussion anymore. It's an order. Authority is being flexed, not justified. The guard says, there's no negotiation, even though the auditor is calm and cooperative. This moment perfectly captures the danger of unchecked authority, when because I said so replaces reason. It's intimidation disguised as professionalism. And when the officer steps in, things get even worse. He sides instantly with the staff, without reading a single line of the posted policy. It's not about maintaining peace. It's about asserting
policy.
Yes.
You cannot put policy over law. You cannot put policy over law. What if the policy said no black people? You want to enforce that? You can't put policy over law.
That's not going to happen.
The government can't make policies that violate the law or the Constitution. Yeah, I'm going there. You put policy over law? Since when? Fuck out of here. I recorded libraries in every 5 boroughs, all 5 boroughs. And it's not a problem because it's not against the law. You swore to protect my rights. You're supposed to come here and enforce the law, not their policy.
One more floor? Okay.
Am I being detained?
Yeah, you're not in cuffs. No, you're not.
So I'm free. So I'm free.
No, you
Am I being detained?
You have to leave.
Am I detained for a crime?
Being detained means you're being stopped and you're under investigation.
Am I being detained for a crime?
I just explained to you not being detained.
All right, then, so that means I'm free, right?
I feel like she's explaining things.
Am I detained for a crime?
Come on.
Am I detained for a crime?
You're going to go downstairs and you can make a complaint.
You can go wherever you want. I'm free. I'm not detained.
Here it is, the hypocrisy in full display. The auditor points out the obvious. No investigation, no logic, just blind enforcement. The officer's reasoning? They don't want you here. That's it. Imagine if every citizen's rights could be dismissed because someone didn't want them around. That's not law enforcement. That's customer service for the powerful. The irony here is painful. A taxpayer, standing in a taxpayer-funded building, being removed by people he pays for following the rules they posted. If this doesn't highlight why filming public officials matters, nothing does.
Their policy says right here, no.
I don't care about their policy, bro. I don't care about their policy, bro. I'm not breaking the law.
What you're doing in here,
I'm not breaking the law. No, they don't. No, they don't.
You're violating the
No, they
staff
don't.
members.
I have a constitutional right to record in public. It's called the First Amendment. It's called the First Amendment. You know what the Constitution is? The highest law of the land. You can't put a fucking library's policy over the Constitution. Are you crazy? You swore over to the Constitution. You didn't swear over to the library's policy. And if they deny me public services, I'm gonna sue them. If you violate my rights, I'm gonna sue you. You ain't swear over to the library's policy. You forgot what your oath is to? The Constitution. Smug ass. Took an oath for what? Where's your lieutenant at so I can speak to him?
He's on his way. He's on another job.
He probably has more pressing matters than somebody exercising their rights in a public building. Listen, what? Are you gonna honor your oath?
It is what it is. I'm
So what
honoring
is
my
it?
oath. They
No,
asked
it's
me
not.
to escort you out.
Let me ask you a
Right here,
question.
You violated their policy.
Let me
yes
ask you
or
a
no?
question. Can you put that
Yes
policy
or
over the
no?
law?
Did you not violate their policy that's right here?
What's higher, that policy or their law?
This is their right.
This moment exposes a crucial legal misunderstanding that happens far too often. The officer conflates policy with criminal law. But refusing to follow a building's internal rule is not a crime, unless it crosses into trespassing, which requires a lawful reason for removal. And here, there isn't one. The auditor's behavior is peaceful, his purpose clear, and the space public. Yet, law enforcement acts as if private management can dictate constitutional rights. This confusion between civil compliance and criminal enforcement is exactly how
Don't find me.
That's not enough traffic if the lights on.
You put policy over law?
I'm putting them right now.
Of course you do.
This is my job.
Of course you do.
This is
Of
what
course
I'm here for.
your job is to
Do you
enforce the
wanna
law.
Do you want to make a complaint?
Your job is to enforce the law. Is there a law being broken right
Do you
now?
want to
What law am I breaking?
Do you want to make a complaint?
Yeah,
walk away
don't.
from my
Yeah, avoid that
lieutenant?
question.
Come on.
Avoid that question. What law am I
I've
breaking?
already answered you multiple times.
What
You're
law am
being
I breaking?
disorderly. You're not
How?
under arrest.
How
You
am
are not
how am I
under
being
arrest.
disorderly, ma'am?
Because you're
I'm
violating
recording?
their policies.
Photography
right here,
isn't a
right
crime
here.
in
Look,
public.
No photographs of the staff, other
Photography
researchers,
isn't
or
a
certain
crime
reading
in
rooms
public,
may be taken.
and you can't
went
turn
around
photography
to
into.
Why'd you show us that piece
You
of
can't
paper?
turn
Now that
photography
we
into a
pointed
crime.
that out, now it doesn't
You
matter.
can't
Now
to
the
show
piece
you
of paper
how
means nothing.
because I record in libraries all over the city.
You're contradicting
Because I have the
yourself.
right to.
You're contradicting yourself.
No, I'm not. I'm following the law.
Yes, you are.
The law that you swore to protect. You enforce the law. You enforce
what we're
policies.
doing.
So
That's
what
what
law
we're
am I
doing. We're doing
breaking?
our job.
What law am I
being
breaking?
disorderly.
How? By
Oh, the
recording?
lieutenant is right here.
Okay. Is he going to help me file my complaint?
He keeps saying he's violating his rights, that we're violating his rights because he's clearly breaking their policy that says no photographs of the staff, other researchers, or certain reading rooms may be taken. And he's saying we're violating his constitutional right that he's allowed to record in here, and their policy doesn't matter. And he requested you because
you
we're
doing?
violating his rights.
All right.
Or this is what I said. I said you can't put their library policy over the law. I'm not breaking the law, which means I have a right to be here. It's a public building.
Okay.
My taxes fund this building.
Here's where the auditor absolutely flips the script, and it's brilliant. He compares recording to religion, asking, if they didn't like my religion, would you make me leave? That analogy cuts deep. It exposes how fragile comfort-based enforcement really is. Once you start allowing subjective discomfort to overrule rights, you open the door to discrimination of every kind. The officer's silence speaks volumes. He can't answer because there's no lawful answer. The exchange stops being about one man with a camera and becomes a mirror reflecting society's selective respect for freedom. The argument reaches a breaking point here. The auditor stays calm, rational, quoting the Constitution, while the officer brushes it off with "this has nothing to do with your job." Think about that for a second. A law enforcement officer just said the Constitution has nothing to do with his job. That single sentence captures everything wrong with this scene. The oath to protect